LocalBozo.com is proud to have with us as our guest for an exclusive interview, WWE Superstar and frontman of the metal band Fozzy, Chris Jericho. Chris, thanks so much for giving us some time today.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Chris, you've had as decorated a career as any in professional wrestling, but after a decade, Fozzy certainly looks like it's becoming more and more your priority. Talk a little bit about the struggle that's gone into working toward erasing the stigma of this being a celebrity or even a wrestler's band, and the satisfaction that you're taking from the fact that the band is now so recognized, especially in the rock community, as a legitimate act.
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I had two goals. I wanted to be in a rock and roll band, and I wanted to be a wrestler, and that started from the time I was about 12. So, to me, it's always been, the two dreams that I had, and I never really saw one as being more than the other. Wrestling took off first, but even when I first started wrestling, I was still playing in bands and writing songs and doing demos and all that sort of thing. So, it was weird when we started Fozzy in 2000. There was kind of a real stigma in the fact that it was the wrestler's band. I never saw it that way because it was never a wrestling band. It's not like we ever got up on stage and, sang about body slams and wore, spandex tights or anything like that. They were completely two separate things, and I never really saw it as anything other than just two passions that I had. And I think that's the reason why Fozzy has got so far and why we're continuing to grow and have so much momentum behind us, is that people have finally realized that this is real. This is not some kind of a novelty. It's not some kind of a celebrity vanity project. It's something that I've been doing my whole life. Like I said, started playing in bands when I was 12, and I'll be playing in bands when I'm 62 years old. It's just something that I do and part of who I am. So I think the best analogy would be like 30 Seconds to Mars, where the lead singer is Jared Leto, great actor, but also a great rock and roll singer and a great rock and roll band, and people don't really care what he does outside of the stage of 30 Seconds, and it's that way with Fozzy now. I think people could really care less what I do when I'm not on stage or recording records with Fozzy. They just enjoy the music and enjoy the fact that this is a kick-ass rock and roll band playing some great songs, and that's all you can ask for.
I think it's recognition long overdue, especially for this band. Now, Fozzy's upcoming release, Sin and Bones, is due out on August 14th. Talk about how this new album differs from previously released Fozzy records.
Well, I mean, and like you said, a lot of people are really turning their heads when it comes to us, and we knew it would happen. We knew if we stuck to our guns and just continued to play, continued to tour, and continued to do what we do, that the people that weren't into the band would start slowly getting into us and start finding out and start checking us out of curiosity, And what we do that's different from most other bands is we play very heavy music with very melodic, catchy choruses, almost like Metallica, and combine them with Journey or something like that. And that's, I think that's one of the reasons why there's such a buzz about this record, is because it's something that's a little bit different from what's going on now. It's very, like I said, very heavy, very catchy, very hooky, very melodic. And that's what Sin and Bones is. We started kind of developing this vibe with All That Remains and Chasing the Grail, our last two records, but this one really took it to the next level. And I think that's why this will definitely be our biggest record, because it's the best of what we do as a band, cultivating this sound that not a lot of other bands are doing right now. We take great pride in that.
Among the album's highlights, you collaborated with Avenged Sevenfold's M. Shadows on the song Sandpaper. Talk about that experience for us.
No, yeah, Shad's a friend of mine, and when I was recording the vocal, I wasn't really feeling the one part, a cat scratch, a whiplash, a witch hunt in black. So I thought it'd be cool to have somebody else do it, like a call and response. So I called Matt and asked him if he'd be interested. I knew they were off, and he was at home, so he's like, send me the song, and I'll see what I think. And I sent it to him, and he really dug it. He was a fan of ours from before anyways, liked, a bunch of our songs, and he thought that the Sandpaper was like one of the catchiest choruses that we'd ever done, and so he kind of took it. He laid down the part that I asked him to, and then he also rearranged the song a bit, gave it a little bit of a different arrangement, streamlined it, made it a little bit more compact, and in my opinion, made it a better song. So not only did he, sing what I asked him to, he also put his own spin on it and really went above and beyond to create this amazing song that it's been just doing huge for us since it came out. So it was cool. It was cool on a professional standpoint, on a creative standpoint, and on a friendship standpoint to have him involved.
Now, in the coming weeks, the band is jumping on the Uproar Festival with acts like Shinedown, Godsmack, Stain, and Papa Roach, amongst others. How amped up are you to get out on this tour, and how did Fozzy get hooked up with this lineup?
Well, we're really excited. I mean, we've done a lot of touring over the years. We've played a lot of shows. We've done a lot of New York shows and you know, kind of spot shows around the country, but we've never done a full-length coast-to-coast tour. And last year we played about a week's worth of shows on Uproar. We played Seven Dust for a while, and I almost think it might have been like an audition process for us, and it was very very addictive. And once we kind of got a taste of it, we wanted more. So when the Uproar lineup started going around, we really pitched to get on it. We worked hard to get on it. It wasn't a slam dunk no brainer. We had to really you know, convince some people and plead our case. And then now that we're on it, I think we've got a great slot. I think everybody's excited to see us, and we're excited to, you know, do our first national tour and really show people who we are as a live band, which is 80% of Fozzy's appeal. I mean, the music on the records is great. It's strong, but when you see us play the songs a lot, and our goal is to be the best band of the show every day. So that's what the mission statement is, and that's the war cry.
Now, Fozzy has some headlining club dates sprinkled in, including a stop locally on Thursday, August 30th at the Gramercy Theater. Having performed in Madison Square Garden dozens of times over the years, you're certainly no stranger to New York City, but talk about what it's like for you to headline a show in Manhattan with your rock band.
Well, we've always done good in New York. I mean, I can remember our first gig was in New York at Virgin Megastore. We did an in-store signing, and we played a couple songs. It was back in like 2000 when the first record came out. So it's cool to think back then, and we played a lot of places over the years. We played the World when it was open in Times Square. We played L'Amour before it closed back in 2002, which was amazing. I mean, we've done the Tribeca Rock Club. We've done B.B. King's. We've done the Cricket Club in New Jersey. I mean, we've been everywhere in the New York area. So we're really excited to go back to New York and play the Gramercy Theater. I mean, it's an amazing venue. It's perfect for us. And that's one of the cool things about Uproar is that, you know, we do most of the tour, but there's some days off, and those days off you get to fill up with your own shows. And we do in St. Louis, Louisville, Los Angeles, and New York. So it gives us a chance to kind of let our hair down and not have to be, you know, the strict 30-minute deadline. We can play for 90 minutes or whatever we want to play. So we make very sure to make sure we had a good show in New York City. So we're excited to come back to New York. It's one of our best crowds and one of our best audiences, and we're going to tear it up like we always do.
Switching gears, Chris, you've had some incredible opportunities both in and out of the ring over the past decade, and shortly you'll be stepping away to spend some more time with your band. Looking back on your latest run with WWE, which looks to be wrapping up shortly, what are your reflections on this latest run, and is it still as fun for you as ever to be out there wrestling?
If it wasn't fun for me, I wouldn't do it, you know, and I took time off on the Chasing the Grail tour, and once that tour was done, it was time to move forward, doing a new record. And, you know, my job as a singer is to write the lyrics and to sing on the record, which lyrics were all done, and doing vocals took about 15 days total. So other than that, I had 9 months of nothing really going on. So it was the perfect opportunity to step back into the WWE for a while. But the plan was always when the new record came out, then I would leave and go back full-time with Fozzy. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the future. I still love doing what I do in the WWE, but like I said, Fozzy's kind of like a president at this point, and with all the momentum and all the great things we have going on, it's cool to see the second dream come true, but it's good to know, too, that the WWE is always going to be there, and I feel great. I thought this last run was awesome, and I feel better than I did 3, 4, 5 years ago, so, you know, I'm raring to go for the next round.
Chris, the wrestling business has certainly changed a great deal from when you first broke in, and it seems like today especially, more and more of the guys seem to be more comfortable in stepping away in their prime and leaving the business, whether to rest up injuries or explore other interests, what have you. I wanted to get your take on how you think that aspect of wrestling, you know, has changed.
Well, I mean, the people that are stepping away are ones that have been there for years and years and years. You know, it's a grueling schedule, physically, mentally. Traveling is hard, you know, so it's good to know that you have these other options and you have to explore them. So, you know, for me, I wrestled for 15 years straight every day, left for a couple of years, came back for another 3 years, wrestled straight every day almost, and then, you know, left for a while, came back for 9 months, and then as you get older, I think that's a good schedule. I've kind of built up my status in the WWE where I can do that. Not everybody can, but, you look at guys like The Rock or, the thing is when Rock came back, he just comes back for once or twice. I came back and did every show. I was in Abilene, Texas, working the house shows as well as working Madison Square Garden. I didn't pick and choose my spots. I came back for 9 months, and that's the way I'll always be. I like doing the whole cycle, and if I came back for a month, I'd still do as many spots, not just do TVs, pay-per-views. So, for me, I like doing it. Like I said, I've been playing with Fozzy since I was, since 2000, and I've been playing in bands since I was 12. So it's not a matter of making this choice. It's who I am, and it's just what I do at this point. So, from this point forward, that'll be how I work WWE. I'll just be coming in and out when I have openings in my schedule. But when I come in, I'll make sure to give 1,000%, do as many shows as I can within that time frame.
Chris, we can't thank you enough for the time today. Is there anything else you'd like to leave for the readers of localbozo.com?
I'm just excited to come back to New York City, and I think we could play a bunch of new songs live, and we're excited to see all of our old friends and make some new ones. It's going to be a great gig.
Awesome, Chris. Well, we can't wait to have you back. Fans, Sin and Bones, the brand new album from Fozzy, is released on Tuesday, August 14th, wherever you buy your rock music. You can catch the band on the Rockstar Energy Drink Uproar Festival throughout August and September, and locally in a headlining appearance at New York City's Gramercy Theater on August 30th. For more information on the band and their tour dates, make sure to check out FozzyRock.com. And it's been our absolute pleasure to speak with Chris Jericho. Chris, thanks so much for your time today. Best of luck on the new album and tour.
All right, guys. See you guys all in August.